Good afternoon, everyone. So we have enough strength to start. So now, today we are gonna learn about few more things. Few more things about what exactly. So I'm gonna cover today, how exactly definite, indefinite loop present in Python, and how exactly for loop you can go for a definite or indefinite. So uh, after this, maybe you can say like I might have completed almost 2 units. So yeah, more or less, like if I even I have looked into your syllabus and I have found like most of the topic which are all I have already covered, those are already there in the unit 2 as well. So please don't worry about it. I know it's a pretty much straight for me, because even though if I will not follow the syllabus, I would know like where exactly what exactly you need to you know we need to tell you for your syllabus. But for the time being, I am actually going with your syllabus only. So that is why I know like now it's time for you to know about definite loop, because in the beginning you might have learned about for loop, just a for loop, nothing beyond it. So now we will learn more about that, and we will see how exactly we can progress for that. Yeah, so it's my sincere request to everyone, please don't create me into that kind of situation, or into that kind of person who can punish you like anything. You really don't know about me or my group. So please, it's my sincere request to you all, please listen carefully, give some time to this class and learn something from me. So it's not like we have enough time to teach you. We do not have much time. So out of my entire office hours, I am just making 1 hour for you guys only. So you guys need to understand this situation, because your principal sir has requested me to do this. Otherwise I'm not, generally what I do take the classes for your college professors and most of the final year students. But for the time being, actually it's a very good start for you guys. Actually this syllabus has introduced, even I was surprised when your principal sir has told me like this syllabus has been introduced in second year first semester students. Then I was quite surprised, but it's really very good for you to start from here. Okay, you will never get much more chances in, afterward. If you will start learning from here, then definitely you will be, you will become a master into this. So it's the right time to start. Okay, and please I keep on telling you, please don't irritate me. Okay, last class I really I was very upset. you know I have shouted on my colleagues, you don't believe. So please, it's my request to you guys, please maintain some decency. Okay, so we are not from any, somewhere we just came and giving lecture to you guys. Okay, we are also from the reputed college, we are also working in a reputed MNCs. So please maintain something, some silence, or at least you should ask your questions. Okay, so let me first share my screen with you all what I'm gonna cover. Okay, here we go. With this, let me disable something. Okay, disable participant annotation. Okay, yeah, fine. I hope everybody will be able to see my screen. Now this actually, this entire dictionary method and operation I have covered yesterday, so I'm not going to talk much about it. So maybe today we will have a discussion about for loop, how exactly the loop definite iteration occurs, and what exactly it has. So when I say definite iteration, what does that mean? So anybody can raise their hand, and you can see in front of you, I have clearly mentioned like definite iteration is that the number of repetition is being explicitly specified in advance. If you know already how many iteration I want in my code or maybe in my loop, then that kind of iteration we used to call it as a definite iteration. Okay, because that is definite, because you already aware about it how many loop you need to insert. Now what about indefinite iteration? when your code block executes until some condition. Okay, so some condition, or maybe you can say some criteria met. So that means your loop, you don't know when my loop is gonna end. Okay, you are just aware about what is the condition, okay, will come, and in that condition, the moment that condition comes, my loop will terminate. Okay, and loop will finish, and just I need to come out of my loop now. So that is indefinite. That means your entire code block will execute until unless your criteria, or your condition is not getting to fulfill. So at that time we generally use indefinite iteration. Now when we talk about this, where exactly this loop works and what exactly, in collection, why generally we enforce this to the collection. So basically we call it as an, or maybe we have given this terminology as a collection based loop. Okay, so when I say collection based loop, that means loop iterate over a collection of objects. Okay, when I say collections of objects, that means what? So collection of object, when I use the term collection, that means you can refer it as list, set, dictionary. Okay, so what all collection objects I have talk about. Okay, so you need to correlate with that. So here even I have clearly given the syntax, and I know like how many of you are quite aware about this syntax which I am currently showing you. So it's nothing but just you have to mention the for I, or maybe it depends on you what variable you wanted to choose, and in, and then inside that you have to write collection. Maybe you are using list, then you have to name of that, you need to mention that name of the list. Okay, and then inside that you have to mention your body, means what exactly you wanted to print, what exactly you wanted to calculate. Okay, now in the same manner, when we can do the same thing, same for loop in iterable manner. Okay, when I say iterable, because see, for I in collection, that already you have learned. When I say iterable, that means it's a collection of object. Maybe you have list of a list. Okay, maybe list of an, okay, object, you can say, or maybe you can say like tuple, or maybe a list contains some tuple, or maybe list contains some set, or maybe dictionary, and inside dictionary there may be, inside dictionary there may be key is fine, but your value should be maybe dictionary, or maybe another list. Okay, that means when I talk about this iterable, that means you have everything is as an collection of objects. Okay, and I have clearly given here, it's a maybe you can assume like it's a list, or maybe tuple, or maybe set, or maybe dictionary. Okay, now I'm gonna take here one example which clearly will tell you what exactly, how exactly I used to refer this term. Now in the name, I have created one list with the name of names, and there I have given name Ravi, Bhavna, or maybe Naveen, whatever. So it depends on you how exactly you wanted to create your list. Now I'm just trying to iterate over names, and I'm trying to print each name which are present in the list. How exactly I'm gonna do? So this example is quite simple, and nothing else, we don't need to apply our brain much. But here if you will clearly look, my list which I have mentioned here is nothing but the iterable. Okay, because I am going to iterate it multiple times. So how exactly I'm gonna do that? So you have to see here, I don't know how many of you are able to see my screen. So please raise your hand at least if you are able to see my screen. Now what I'm gonna do here, I have my list which is named as names, where I have clearly mentioned some name. Now you can refer to that name, and then this list contains 3 names, or maybe you can create more than 10 names or whatever. It depends on you how exactly you wanted to create a list. Then here I'm gonna do for loop. I have just created one for loop. Okay, and here if you will see, names is nothing but iterable. Okay, so you can say I need to iterate over this list. Okay, when I say over this list, that means I need to iterate over names, and there the names is nothing but the list. So it's a what? It is what? It's a collection of object. Okay, so name is what is name? Name is an object, or it's a name. Okay, maybe you person, you can say person is an object, or maybe anything. So it depends on you how exactly you can define it. But for the time being, I just assume like everybody quite aware about the objects. Now I have created, you know, one you can say variable for I in names. So no names same way. Now I just wanted to print out all the names. So what exactly does it iterate over the names? So now when it iterate over the names, it generally, you know, print what? Print one by one all the values, or maybe you can say one by one all the names. Okay, which I have already mentioned in my list. Now in similar manner, if we will proceed further into my, you know, slides, here you can see like I have clearly mentioned iterable is the list name. So here you can say like name is nothing but the iterable. Now you can correlate this name I have mentioned clearly here the moment I was explaining you about how and how exactly syntax of for loop is being given. Okay, so this is how you can correlate your, you know, how sir is creating this, you know, example. Now now let me move forward with this. Okay, how exactly iterable, what exactly iterable says. So in Python, especially in Python, when I say in Python, that means especially in Python, it is iterable means in an object can be used in iteration. Okay, when I say iteration, that means if an object is iterable, it can be passed to built-in function. Okay, so if an object is iterable, that means it can be passed to your built-in function. Built-in function, when I use term built-in function, that is which is already available in your, you know, Python. So there is a one built-in function which is named as iter. So iter, we used to say it's a kind of function which is already available, and that returns us a one iterator. Okay, so you need to understand what iterator we generally get from it. Now here each object is an iterable and returns some type of iterator when we pass to iter. Okay, so here as you can see clearly, we have each object is an iterable and returns some type of iterator when we pass it to iter. So what iter? Okay, so you need to understand one by one what exactly iter says. Okay, now let me write iter and let me write some name over it. What exactly I'm gonna get? Okay, so as I have already you know, given into the, you know, my ppt, I have attached this like how exactly it works. So if I will write iter prav, okay, which is nothing but string, now it is saying it's a str iterator, and it is giving the index, or you can say like it's pointing to the, you know, address of that particular reference, or maybe you can say like where exactly it is being pointed. So it's a kind of reference. Okay, now in the same manner, when I pass a list, okay, then it is called as list iterator. Okay, so you can say if you will write here, it will directly say it's a list iterator, and it will point it out to the some address, and this address is nothing but the memory address, you can say. Okay, now same manner I am gonna pass a tuple. Okay, now in if I'm gonna pass this in a tuple, then it is also again saying it's a tuple iterator. So iterator is a kind where what object you are passing, it becomes that object, or that kind of, you know, iterator. So even when I pass to the tuple, then it is becoming tuple iterator. When I pass set, it is going to become set iterator. When I pass list, it is gonna, you know, convert it into the list iterator. Now in the same manner, you can say like dictionary also behave, and dictionary does the same thing. Now If still you want me to do in a a notebook, Jupyter notebook, then I can clearly do that, and you will get the same output, because this is nothing but I have taken from my screen itself. Okay, so I guess everybody got clarity about this iterator. Okay, you just need to write iter and then function. Okay, and inside that, whatever you wanted to pass, you can pass it. Okay, now when I say here integer, float, built-in functions are nothing but the methods are not iterable. When I say not iterable, that means if you will use these names, then it is not going to iterable. Now let me just give you one more example straight away, so that you can get better clarity. Let me share my screen, Jupyter notebook first, and I'm gonna write here one thing, iter, and then, are you able to see my screen, guys? I guess, hope everybody. So here I am writing just Praveen, and let me run this. So as I said, like if I'm gonna pass a string, that it is going to become str iterator. Okay, now instead of this, if let me pass integer. Okay, so I'm gonna write iter, and then I'm gonna write here 12. Let's see what exactly output I'm gonna get. So you can say like int object is not iterable. That is what I said while explaining you. Integer, float, these are all not iterator. So even if I will write here, instead of 12, let me write floating value. Let me write here floating value as 12.5. Then what would be my output? It will again tell you the same. Float object is not iterable. Okay, that is what I said in my PPT, like int, float, and some built-in function or method. Okay, those are not iterable. Okay, in the same manner where I have mentioned, whereas all the data types that are collections or maybe container types, that all are iterable. Okay, so please, if somebody will ask you what all things are iterable, what all things are not iterable, then please clearly do mention the same thing, because it's a pretty much very simple definition. Okay, truly speaking, it's very simple definition. You don't need to remember it at all. Okay, now when I say iterator, an iterator is essentially a value producer, okay, which yields successive values from its associated iterable object. Okay, so you can look into the definition which I clearly gave here. Is an iterator is essentially a value producer, which means that it is gonna produce some value, and that yields successive values from its associated iterable object. Okay, if you are still not got clarity about, then let me take the same example which I have given you previously. I am gonna use the same example here. So you can see, like here I have used names. Okay, here I am writing the same list as in here, and I'm gonna write like this. And now I'm gonna just I will write itr, what all value I will get here. I will just want itr to be at names. Okay, I have done nothing, just I am passing collections, or maybe you can say like I am passing the list. Okay, now we can print out what I'm gonna print. It's I'm gonna print itr. So let me run this. Let me see what we are getting. We are getting list iterator. Okay, so are we getting list iterator? Now I wanted to print all the values. So how I'm gonna do that? Okay, so for that sake, you just need to write what, again, for loop I in itr, and then you just need to print I. That's it. This is what you need to do every time. Okay, so you just run. You can see like you will get all the values, so you don't need to perform much things on this. Okay, now let me move ahead. I guess till here everybody got clarity what exactly I have explained so far. So please, I want some acknowledgement from you guys, because I have been speaking from last 20 minutes, so I need to take at least some acknowledgement from you guys. So yeah, so can somebody say is it clear for you? Okay. Yeah, thank you so much. 525, 531, 528, and 556, 549. Thank you so much. Okay, for your acknowledgement. Now, let me move ahead again. And truly speaking, people will ask if they wanted to confuse or they wanted to mislead you, then definitely they are gonna ask iterator. I'm telling you, I'm betting you, they will definitely ask iterable, what are iterable, how exactly iterable takes value, what all values is being taken by the iterable. Okay, so you need to know from here how exactly and what exactly you need to know. Now, yeah, somebody has said like, sir, can you please explain again for loop? So in for loop I have done nothing. So even if itr, instead of itr, if I'm gonna write names, I'm gonna print the same. Okay, I will be getting the Ravi, Bhav, and Navi. Okay, so you don't need to worry much here, because I haven't used much thing here. So yeah, so let me just move forward and let me see what exactly present in my slides, so that you will get more clarity on this. Now you can see, like, I have clearly mentioned and explained this particular example I have already taken. Now next ITR, when I say, can somebody go on your note? Okay, 569. Anyway, yep. So here we have another function which is named as next, you can say, and it will give you the next value of ITR. So suppose I have taken the same example, which I am showing you in my Jupyter notebook. Now here I have written what I have written for loop. Now I don't need to write for loop. Instead that, I just wanted to print what? I wanted to print next value of my ITR. So how exactly I'm gonna do that? So here, what should I write? So you need to write here, as here I clearly mentioned, you have just write next. That's it. You don't need to perform anything. You write next. Okay, you can see like the color is becoming green. That means it's already available. And now you need to pass ITR. Okay, now if you will pass this, so what output should we get? We are getting Ravi, because first time I'm gonna use this. Now second time, let me write again one more next ITR. Then what will be the output? It has to be Bhavna. Yep. Okay, now same in similar manner, I can write like this. If I will write ITR, then I'm gonna get Navi. You can see. So this is how you can access your next element, or maybe you can say like next object, okay, which are present in your list. Okay, so it's been quite clear how exactly iteration work. Okay, and what it does. Now suppose I just wanted to, I do not have any other value after this, but I wanted to retrieve this. So what output I should be getting, or maybe what error should we get? Are we going to get some error, or are we going to get some output? So we can see that if I will write here next ITR and we do not have any value, now definitely we will get some error. Now you can see here we are getting a stop iteration. Okay, so that is how you can check your condition. So when I say you are getting error, then in case of handling exception handling, you need to mention a stop iteration somewhere, because you never know where your loop is gonna end. So you need to just write one condition in exception handling, where means like when your loop terminates, then you have to handle it by stop iteration. Just stop there. That's it. That is how you can handle your for loop. Now in the same manner, how you can write stop iteration in your loop, so that you need to know exactly the way I am going to explain you. So if I will show you the same presentation where exactly I have written some statement. So if you will look my presentation clearly here, if all the values from an iterator have been written already, that means we get all the values. So I have written 3 times next. So when I wrote 3 times next, that means I got 3 values. Now after that, we do not have any other values. Now, if I will write a subsequent next, then it will raise a call for stop iteration, and that is nothing but the exception. Okay. So a subsequent next call raise a stop iteration exception. So there, now how exactly you need to stop there, and sometimes it happens like your loop may misbehave, or maybe it is not gonna if you're not handling it properly, then you will not get the expected output. So when I will talk about, or maybe I will teach about you regarding exception handling, how exactly we need to do exception handling in Python, then we will see how exactly we need to handle this kind of situation as well. Okay. But for the time being, you need to know it's a kind of exception which you need to stop it using stop iteration. Okay. Now let me move on to the next. Somebody has pinged me, sir, please share unit 2 PDF in WhatsApp, sir. Send, sir, please, sir. We are writing in notes, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much, sir. Whoever is writing this, thank you so much. But as I said clearly, I already provided you, unit 1 PPT, and that is not only one unit, PPT, and its PDF contains both syllabus. So don't worry. And after finishing of this as well, I am gonna provide you the whatever remaining PPT is pending with me. Okay. Okay, but you don't need to write, sir, please, sir, sir, send you, sir, please. I don't need to ask that many times. Okay, if you will ask once, I will listen to you. So don't worry. Now, here I have some, definition which I can, these are the term which you will face in your when you are going to use for loop, or maybe when you are going to use iterator, or maybe iteration, or maybe definite kind of loop, or maybe indefinite loop. Then these are the term which you need to be very much familiar, so that you can able to understand what exactly the value we are getting. Okay. So yeah, give me excuse for a while. Yeah. So first of all, just to have a look about, what does that mean, the term iteration. And I have already spoken a lot about iteration. So you just look into the iteration definition here. The process of looping through the objects, or you can say item in a collection. Okay. So you have collection. So list is a kind of collection where, you have multiple objects, or maybe you can say 3 4 objects. Let's say in my example, if you will talk about my example, I have 3 objects. So it is saying it is the process of looping through the objects. Okay. So that means multiple objects is there, and you have to loop it through, and then item in a collection. You can say either you can call it as an item which is present in your collection. Now what does that iterable means? Next term is iterable. So please be careful when I call you, as when I ask you iterable, what is iteration, what is iterator. So you need to know what exactly these terms are. So and you will be able to define properly. Now when I say iterable, that means an object, or the or you can say that can be iterated over. Okay. So iterable, in my definition, you can say names the list which I use there, so that is called as iterable. Okay, now here even I have mentioned like or the adjective used to describe an object. Okay, so in my example you have seen like names in which I have just kept three names, so that name of the list is nothing but my iterable. Okay, now what is iterator? The object that produces successive items or values from its associated iterable. Okay, so here if you will see clearly, now you will be able to find that. So when I say you need to look closely, then you will be able to get definition easily. So here clearly I have mentioned the object that produces successive items or values from its associated iterable. Okay, so that is nothing but the iterator. Now iter, I know now after talking about almost 40 minutes 30 minutes, you can say like we come to know, we have heard many times iter, what it does. So as I said in the beginning, it's nothing but the built-in function which used to obtain an iterator from an iterable. So you can now clearly look into the meaning here. Very good definition, you can say. The built-in function used to obtain an iterator from an iterable. Okay, so iterable is what? Iterable is your list of what? The list which you have. So that means a collection, or maybe you can say that all the objects, okay, which are present in that. Now from there you are just trying to iterate, obtain an iterator. Now you wanted to get one iterator. So iterator where maybe one time, second time, three times you are just iterating over. So that is called as iterator. Okay, so with this we can say like we all got pretty much clarity on the definite iteration which I have mentioned here. Okay, now still if somebody would like to ask any questions, please do raise, and please raise your concern right away. Otherwise I will definitely keep moving. So somebody can ask something like what exactly the doubt do you guys have? Can somebody please ask here? I'm not getting any questions from you guys. I don't know why I'm not getting. There is a two possibility. Either you guys are not understanding anything, or either I'm not I'm not able to explain you. So now there is a two possibility. So okay, so you guys are saying like no doubt, please move to the next topic. Okay, thank you so much for that. Yeah, so now I can say like even, yeah, I just wanted to know from you guys. Yesterday only your principal sir has called me. What is your midterm and when it is going to be? Can somebody or maybe class representative, can you guys unmute yourself or please speak about it? Those who wanted to speak, please raise your hand. Bhavna as well as Ravi Kiran, please raise your hand so that I can unmute you guys. Okay, 525. Yes, I have unmuted 525. So now you can tell now, Bhavna.
Sir,
I didn't get you.
mid exams are postponed, sir.
Okay, when it is going to be?
Don't know, sir.
Okay. So what exactly your midterm, you can say like mid exams internally? Can somebody can tell like when exactly this has to be scheduled and this gonna happen?
No information given by university, sir.
Okay. So your college starts when just give me a a short about how exactly when exactly do your college starts, means your this semester starts.
Don't know, sir. No information given from university.
No, what I'm asking is when your college has started,
This
when
sem, sir.
this semester, yeah, when it was started.
August 17th, sir.
Okay, that means August 17. That means it's been almost 1 month and 10 more days, I guess. Okay,
Yes,
10 to
sir.
12 days. Okay, so generally, when is your midterm is going to be scheduled generally? Because I need to prepare, your exam as well. So generally, when it is suppose if your normal schedule is there, then when is your midterm exam is gonna happen? Like in between, like suppose your semester is having 5 months, okay, an entire semester. Then your midterm supposed to be happen after 2 months. Is it that?
Yes, sir.
Oh,
Nearly 6 to 7 weeks after exam will be, sir.
okay. Got you point. Thank you so much, guys. I just wonder because sir has pinged me about the same like he said like you have to continue this for even second mid also. So yep, and we'll have to see. Okay. And does anybody having any doubt what exactly syllabus or maybe when your other faculty is about to arrange exams and all? Anyone please? In other subjects, so you must have lot of subjects, 4 5 subjects which is going on parallelly. What I'm asking is, do you guys face any exam on those subjects or not? No. Okay, so that means nobody has conducted that. Okay, then fine. But truly speaking, I would like to take one a small test for you guys. Not now. I will tell you in prior, but definitely I am gonna take that. Maybe it is going to contain just you can say like 10 questions, nothing beyond nothing, and we will see like how exactly I can arrange that. But don't worry, I will give you some time and provide you over the Google only, and we'll see if you will be able to answer or not. Okay, now let me just move on to further. Okay, now again, one more thing, iterating through the dictionary. So recently I have covered the dictionary topic as well once more, and now we have to just learn more about iterating, how exactly we can iterate over the dictionary. Now, when I say iterate over the dictionary, we know that the iterator can be obtained from a dictionary with ITER. Okay, we have learned in last PPT what exactly ITER does. Now here you can see my example which says you have one kind of dictionary. I have just you can say defined one dictionary, and inside dictionary I have just mentioned three names. So that means here name is nothing but maybe you can say like it's a key, and the value is 1 2 and 3. That means like your key is Rajesh, Varun and Mahi, and then your value has to be 1 2 and 3. So this is how you can define your dictionary. I guess everybody knows now how exactly we can define the dictionary. Now I just wanted to iterate over the dictionary. So what I will write here, you can see here, I have just written one for loop, okay, and taken one variable named as k in dictionary, which you can say like the whatever the name you have given to the your dictionary, I have given dict, and then I am just trying to print all values. So are we going to get or not? So think about it. I don't know. Means I have this. I have covered this a couple of more times, or maybe even more. But I just wanted to know from you guys whether you guys are quite aware still or not. Now, if I will write like this, you can see what I will get here from here. Let me run this. I'm getting Rajesh, Varun, Mahi. Okay, so we are just getting what? We are just getting keys. Okay, we are not getting values. Now here I need to use iterator as here as well. So let me see how exactly we can perform that. Now, first of all, I need to access dictionary values. When I wanted to access my dictionary values, then how exactly I can access that? I just need to call the name, and then whatever the index I wanted to access, I just need to mention that. Okay. Now, if you will see here, let me write this particular code on on my notebook so that we can get better clarity here. So here I'm writing like this, and then we'll see what exactly. Yeah. So now I wanted to access the values. So clearly I'm telling you I wanted here you can see now I just want to access only the values. So 1 and 2 and 3. So these are the values. So I have just mentioned like this. Now here, even though I can use iterator, so even iter, which I keep on repeating, okay, so that iter even I can access from here. Now how exactly we can do that? We can iterate through a dictionary values directly by using dot values. So now if I don't want to specify that, and I just need to write instead of this, let me write like this. This one I must say d, and here I will write values. Okay, it's a function which I must say like this, and then here you don't need to specify d, just here gd. So here if you will run, you will find your values. And even last time I have covered how exactly you can iterate using items, or maybe you can say how basically you can iterate over what all operations I have covered last time. Do you remember, guys? So I just wanted to know from you and wanted to hear from you what all operations or method or function I have covered in the last time. So I just opened my chat box here. I wanted to look if anybody would be able to give answer to that. So my requirement is I need to access the values and keys of my dictionary. So what all operations are present there which I can apply over the dictionary. Okay. So please ping me over chat so that I can get whether you guys are having good clarity on this or not. If I will get 3 answers, then I will leave this class early. So guys, please quickly, I need answers. What all operations and what all you can say methods present which we can apply on dictionary. So clearly, guys, please go fast. If you really want me to I can leave this class by 2:20 as well, if I will get answers from 3 people minimum. Yes, I wanted to access items of a dictionary. Change items, I wanted to do change item as well. Loop. Okay, what else? Okay, delete, draw, pop, clear. Thank you so much, 516. Thank you so much. Really appreciate that. What else? So you are just writing delete, pop, and clear. That's it. But if I want to access that, then what all operations do I need? I wanted to access values. I wanted to access, um, I wanted to access keys. I wanted to access both. Okay. So clearly, guys, please quickly. I want responses. Okay, append. Yeah, fine. Clear, copy from keys, get items, keys, pop. Okay, pop item, set default, update values from keys. From keys. Do I have talk about from keys? Hmm. I don't know who has given this answer. Okay, 558 from keys. Okay, okay. Give me a syntax of from keys. Delete, pop, import. Um, who has written import? Import is for what? So 520. What import does? Okay, adding items, removing items, open dictionary. I just need function or method name. Mm-hmm. Yep, pretty much fine. I got 2 correct answers so far. I need one more volunteer. Okay, 505 has responded with copy, keys, values, items, set default. Okay, get, return a dictionary with the specified keys and values from keys. Okay, 5588. Thank you so much. Nested dictionary module to access dictionary, sir. We use import. 520, that is actually wrong. Import is not gonna use nowhere, because I said like clearly in my requirement, I just need to access the elements which are present in my dictionary. Okay, these values. Okay, so far so good. Length, values, clear, copy. I need, though I got 3 answers, I am still waiting for one more answer who can clearly say everything. Though I have got these 2 from 505 also, you are right. And there are 558 who has written lot many functions. Thank you so much for that. And 505 you have also covered a bit. 554 you have also covered a lot. Mm-hmm. Yeah, okay. 520. Okay, yeah. So yeah, I'm keep on getting answers. So thank you so much guys for this kind of participation. I really, somehow I'm the person who likes the interaction most. Okay, if you will interact with me a lot, definitely, I don't know what can I give you all. Even I can give you entire thing, whatever present in my mind, or whatever we have experienced so far. So that is why I keep on saying, like, you need to just understand to whom you are dealing actually, and what exactly you are listening, what exactly you are getting. Okay, what all topics I am covering. Truly speaking, these all topics are very good topics which I have covered so far, and I have given enough time to cover one particular topic. And when I feel like no, I have missed something, or I wanted to cover this particular thing, then I just add one more slice for you guys to explain about what exactly it is. Okay, so thank you so much. 545. Yep. So in this manner, clearly you can get a lot many things from me, and that is how we can share our knowledge with you guys. But for this entire thing, you need to concentrate somewhat, and you need to give some time to this language. Otherwise it doesn't gonna help for you in your future. So truly speaking means, at least you should have some hands on, or maybe at least whatever examples I am coding, or whatever examples I'm giving, at least you should run on your side. That's it, nothing beyond that. In this stage, if you will do that only, I can assure you guys, everybody will get, internship in third year, beginning of the third year. So that is how you need to know, mm, what is the caliber, what exactly, where exactly I need to work on, what in all things I need to work on, what is my weak point, what is my strength, what exactly I need to, you know learn more, or maybe I need to improve skills. So here exactly you need to work on. And it's a, as I, from the beginning, I just keep on telling you guys, like, this is exactly the right time for you all to start your programming skills, to work on your programming skills now onwards. Okay. And if you will start working from this day, or maybe you can say from this year, you can say, then I will assure you guys, nobody can stop you in any interview. Neither you can crack Google interview, you can crack Facebook interview as well. If you start working on your Python programming language from today onwards, or maybe you can say, like, from this semester onwards, I'm betting you guys. You take my bet, whenever after 2 3 years you come back and you will say, sir, this is what you told and this is what I did. I will be the happiest person at that time. Okay. So with this we can close our session, and if you guys have still any doubt or any clarification you needed at my end, please do let me know. Okay. And today we will finish our session here only. So thank you so much, you all, okay, for your proper participation, which I was looking from the moment I started my class. I started this entire Python programming classes. So on 7th September onwards I have started this. But yeah, I was looking this kind of participation from you all. But I'm happy this time at least 20 people have participated to give answers. Thank you so much, guys. Okay, I really appreciate. If you all want clap from my end, then definitely I can clap for you guys. Okay, so thank you so much, everyone. Okay, with this we can end our session. Okay, for today. We will meet you on tomorrow. Okay, thank you. Bye bye. Stay safe, stay happy.